I was ignoring the dash. Got it on. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I copy. I do my. Oh, devil in the pants. Thought they could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on. Smash. Put on the gas. I will not.
See the Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champ.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the New England Patriots and the Cleveland Browns. Oh, he's got a little daylight, and nothing but daylight ahead.
What's up, man? Mike.
Cleveland. Called out a 96-yard house call on the kick return. As these guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for a team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field,
you better
be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Brady. And his throw here is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. There he goes, right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Well, it was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. They shakes him off. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
Charles, let's dive into that Patriots 3-0 start. Earlier, you mentioned it. Yes, the offense that we're getting ready to see here again in a second is doing their thing, and Tom Brady, and that's great. But really, the defense continues to kind of fly under the radar with great play.
And they really shouldn't, should they? Because that touchdown they gave up against the Jets was the first scored against the Patriots since the AFC Championship game last season, and it occurred on a muff punt. How about this? I love this stat. First team to shut out opponents in the first half of each game through week 3 since the 1962 Green Bay Packers. And did you know that that Packers team lost 1 game all year and won the NFL championship? If that's an omen, Patriots fans love it.
Brady's throw on third down there is incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Returnable here for Callaway. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position. Come up here 1st and 10. A first down throw from Mayfield. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Olivier Vernon just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Dorsett's got it. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. Second tour of duty for Watson with the Patriots. Remember, New England drafted him way back in 2004 out of Northwestern. He retired in the offseason after finishing the campaign with New Orleans, but decided to come back for one more go-around with the Patriots, and they might need him, especially with Rob Gronkowski no longer in uniform. Brady now going to leave it with Michel on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Yeah, Brady's throw there, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he fights through one man. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is...
Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2.
Partner, they're up big. They snapped the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT. Yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They fake the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Christian Kirksey just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, that's the second time they've gotten to Brady, and you've got to do it a variety of ways. You want your... They got to him, and that just doesn't happen very often.
It's a rarity. He's just such a veteran. His pocket presence so good, but hey, tip of the cap to the D. Now Brady gets away with one. Lucky, could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Callaway on the return. Whoosh. Still going. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. The Browns drive about to get started. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, let's see if the defense... This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 40 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Flush to his... And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, the defensive cup, and he takes off with it. It's a fake. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when he snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Julian Edelman and the rest of the offense back onto the field now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Thomas, the 9-year vet. Of course, all those great seasons with Denver. 5 straight 1,000-yard campaigns in Denver. Dealt to Houston at the trade deadline last year, and now trying to work his way back off an Achilles tear. And if healthy, he can certainly be a big asset for Tom Brady. On 2nd down, Michel. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run with Michel. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Off the draw, here's Michelle. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if you say bring in your tight end, keep him.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 39 yards there, a big one. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. J.C. Jackson there defensively to knock it away. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays.
And that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. A good pickup there, a 22. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there, and picking up the 1st down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
This will be taken about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 36, Brady caught by the tight end Watson. 7 yards there and a 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. That's complete to his running back, Burkhead. And he'll go down. But not before getting this inside the 30.
Wait, set, wide, 80.
Ready? Watch tight end.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Complete to Watson, the tight end. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Let's go.
The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. They come up first and 10 at the 16. Now Brady again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Brady, and that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one, maybe not the hard-fought battle many had hoped for.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
do that? I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting some
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety, Morgan Burnett, that time gets home for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To try again after the sack. Brady, and he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. But it's going to be second down. Partners, switching gears for a second. A really cool moment on Sunday night when Clay Matthews, former Browns linebacker, was inducted into Cleveland's Ring of Honor. And, of course, his son, Clay, was playing for the opposite team that night. It was a really neat moment.
Fantastic moment. And it's Clay 2 and Clay 3, correct?
Yes.
Dad is 2. Son, who's playing for the Rams now, is 3. When he popped out there to see the rest of the family.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Beckham, 68 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Here's Brady. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. With that incompletion, we step league-wide for a second. I want to discuss Saquon Barkley's injury. Obviously, that hurts the Giants, who are having a quarterback change. And, look, Daniel Jones looked good, but they're going to need Saquon Barkley in that backfield.
In a big way. Not just as a runner, obviously, but his ability to catch the ball in the backfield, make plays in open space. 4 to 8 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Horrible news, not just for the Giants, but how about fantasy football teams? All right, if you got Saquon Barkley, many of you selected him at #1 in your draft. Now he's going to be out for a decent portion of the season.
You better hit your waiver wire and get Wayne Gallman quickly. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Brady to throw again. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
53 check 53.
Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Mayfield to throw it. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 60 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say, they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jannard Avery. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing now is Brady. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Watson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Fielded just inside the 20. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 60 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Meanwhile, here's a shot for the end zone right away, but it's incomplete. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing?
Obviously, John's very...
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
To throw, Mayfield. The Browns are in. Touchdown. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On first down, Brady. Dorsett making the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, the tight end, and it's second down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brady, another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost. When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Brady going to throw, and that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And
And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
So risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Oh, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here, and that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. From the gun, it's Brady. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Demaryius Thomas, and that'll bring up second down. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Brady. He's got a man complete. It's Julian Edelman. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Demaryius Thomas, and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
It's like my old high school coach used to say, Charles. He said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. He's been almost impossible to bottle up. You see that number 10 on your screen, a big reason why they have the lead.
One of the guys that's being featured in this game and making sure.
It's caught inside the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But what we just saw, we've seen a lot of broken Look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened.
Philip Dorsett by himself. 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too? Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of...
He's got it at the 15. A big play that time for Cleveland. 56 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the line. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point safely through, and that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Joseph now to kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Pats at the line, ready to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. To throw is Brady. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is...